Okay, so let's talk a little bit about percents and fractions. And percent simply is a fraction whose denominator is 100. So this is 40%. It's the same thing as 40 over 100. And because it's a fraction and it's reducible, so I could divide both of these by 10 and I get 40 over 10, 4 over 10, and I can divide them further by 2, so I have 2 over 5. Okay, so 40% is the same thing as 2/5. Let's look at another one quickly. We can look at, say, 80%. And so that's the same thing. It's 80 over 100. I divide both numerator and denominator by 10. I get 8 over 10. And if I divide those both by 2, I get 4/5. Okay, simple enough. Let's look at something maybe a little bit more strange. Let's look at 104%. We do the same thing. It's 104 over 100. And I can divide those by 2. So that would be 52 over 50. Those are divisible by 2 also. So I have 26 over 25. And that is 1 1/25. Okay. Maybe even stranger is where I have a decimal as a percent. Well, that's still just 0.3 over 100. Now, here, to get that decimal out of there, I need to multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. So that would give me 3 over 1,000. And that is not reducible at all. So it is 3 1,000ths. Okay. Even a little bit more confusing would it be if I have 56 and 1/4%. Okay. So this one, I want to convert 56 and 1/4 I can still write that over 100, but I want to go ahead and take that 56 and 1/4 and I want to convert that into a improper fraction. So 56 and 1/4, if I multiply 56 times 4, I get 224 plus the 1 in the numerator, so that is 225 over 4. And I divide that by 100, because that's what basically is going on there. I have 56 1/4 divided by 100. Okay. So now I can look at this and say, well, that is the same thing as 224 over 4 times 1 over 100. And I can go ahead and say, well, that's reducible. I can say, actually, so it was 224, I'm sorry, plus the 1 would give me 225. Okay, so let me do that. 225 over 4, 225 over 4. Okay, I forgot to add the numerator back. All right, so I know I can divide both of those by 25. So if I divide those by 25, I get 4 instead of 100, and 225 divided by 25 is 9. So 9 times 1 is 9, and 4 times 4 is 16. So that's actually 9/16. All right, so that's converting percentages over to fractions. Okay, we can do it the other way. We can convert a fraction into a percent. So if I could say 19/20ths, to do that, I want to set up a proportion where the denominator is 100, okay? And then I simply solve for x. So in this case then, I have 19/20ths times 100, and that would give me 19 times 100, so that's 1900, and divided by 20. I wrote 200, I should have written just 20. Divided by 20. And that's 95%. It'd be 95 over 100, but it's actually 95%, right? Because my x is the 95. And so 95 over 100, and that's 95%. Let's look at another one. Let's say I have 8/5, and I want to convert that into a percentage. So I simply say 8 divided by 5 times 100. That's going to give me my percentage. So that is 800 divided by 5. And that is 160%. Okay? So that should be good enough so that we can do problems in class. Yeah, see you then.